back. I need some races in here, man. Where is the races on YouTube? I need them over here right now. I need to have a conversation. JB. try try to lure some races in this bitch. Hey, try to give them a title they more inclined to click on. You know, everybody loves some old black fatigue conversation. You know. I probably should have, y'all. Charlie Kirk is the Messiah. They probably came in this bitch in droves. Man, YouTube ain't let me be insane right now, y'all. It don't matter what the fuck I put in the title. They not giving it ain't my what I'm noticing is it's my live videos. It ain't really my uploads. They'll let my uploads reach some people. But my live videos, they like, fuck that. Hell no. This nigga lives is dangerous. Like he can't get them bitches no motherfucking visibility. You hear me? That's what the fuck we go. That's what I'm noticing, y'all. I did 2 uploads the other day. They ain't do bad. Live videos. Only niggas that can see them is motherfuckers that subscribe. But no, right? So y'all know the last couple of days we've been talking about the WisconSin situation with Rick Child and Cyrus Belton. And I'm just going to the comments and I'm just like, damn, yo, like, yo, racism is a huge problem in America, man. And it's not even, you know what though? The crazy thing about it, right? The average white person, yo, isn't openly racist. But the ones that is openly racist make it bad for everybody else. It's almost like one bad apple spoils the bunch. It's like, yo, I'm sitting back reading the comments, and it's like, damn, yo. Yo, we just witnessed Shorty get murdered. And it's still people making excuses for that shit. Like, it's white people on that bitch like, well, he shouldn't have had a gun at 14. So what, he never been in trouble. He's a thug. Like, god damn, yo, like, y'all niggas is crazy, bro. Like, when people is out of control, yo. I'm just reading the comments, and I'm just like, yo, racism ain't never going to end. But it's all about stereotypes, though. That's where the black fatigue come from. Black fatigue come from stereotypes. So I told one dude, right? No, stop believing stereotypes. He said, but what if it's true? I say, yo, people, see, I don't think people really don't even know what a stereotype is. Yo, a stereotype, how stereotypes is created is by isolating a particular group in a community and making that group the face of the community. That's how stereotypes is created. And you can do that with any group of people. You can do it with any group of people, yo. So it's just like, damn, yo, like, yo, people really fall for stereotypes, not even realizing what the fuck a stereotype even is. Yo, it's ignorance in every race. Every race. Yo, but black people, ignorance is the only ignorance that's displayed and marketed and exploited and promoted. That's what creates black fatigue. But they don't know that. You understand what I'm saying? They think that when they see these videos of black people, they think this is all black people. But when they see the videos of white people, they don't think it's all white people. They don't think it's all Asian people. They just view their situations as isolated. But our situations, they use that to justify the whole community. And I'd be like, damn, niggas dumb as shit. Motherfuckers stupid. And a lot of these people think they smart, but they dumb as shit, and they don't realize they being manipulated too. Yo, Jewish media is what turned the world against black people. Jewish media, hip-hop community ran by Jews, is what turned the world against black people. But the crazy thing about it, right, is like now, people are starting to wake up to their nonsense, their shenanigans. So it got me thinking like, damn, yo, what if they really did that to make us the enemy so they could continue doing the bullshit that they doing? What if that was the play? What if the play was, you know, because you got to make somebody the enemy. You got to make somebody the enemy in order for you to slide under the radar. And I'm starting to think like, dang, that's really what they did, yo. They made black people the face of violence, the face of everything wrong with America, so they can slide under the radar and do a whole bunch of backhanded shit. And the crazy thing about it is most Americans don't even realize that's what happened. But now, they starting to come around and recognize it's an issue there too. Look at this. Look at this right here. Yup, us and Muslims, you ain't lying.
Donald Trump is worried that Benjamin Netanyahu could blow up the Iran nuclear deal. In an expletive-laden phone call reported by Axios, Donald Trump laid into the Israeli Prime Minister saying, "What the F are you doing? You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this." Now, Donald Trump feels that Netanyahu was escalating in a disproportionate way the strikes that
Israel has been carrying out. Because it took that for people to recognize the real culprit, who the real problem is. It took the war in Iran for people to recognize, like, yo, hold up, yo, what the fuck is really going on? But they still haven't connected the dots. You understand what I'm saying? They still haven't connected the dots. Like, damn, the same people that was doing this is also doing that. Meanwhile, they was doing that so they can do this without me saying too much. You understand what I'm saying? Do people get me? Did that make sense? Yo, the black people, the black community is the only community that's what's the word I'm looking for? That's characterized solely off their stereotypes. No other community has that issue, yo. We are the only community that's viewed based off our stereotypes. That's it. All negative. Nothing positive. Like, you know, they say the Jews is stingy, tight with money. Yeah, but that ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Alright, they tight with money, yo, but that ain't like being known as violent, unruly, disrespectful. You understand? I would much take that stereotype over the stereotypes that they put on black people. So I was going to do an uploaded video of this. And I probably should, because uploaded videos travel further. than live videos, because YouTube don't promote live videos, or they rarely do. But I ain't feel like putting in the work. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't feel like putting in the time. So I was looking into juveniles, right? And the juvenile crime statistics. You know, because what justified the murder of Cyrus was how juveniles are viewed. Black juveniles are viewed violently. So you got a particular segment in America that, in that type of situation he was in, when he had a gun on him and didn't shoot, you got a particular segment of people in America that can't fathom a black teen not pulling a gun. Because black teens are violent. They're dangerous. Right? So, you know, that's the stereotype. So I say, yo, what's the really numbers on black teens? You're like, oh shit, I ain't got it in this fucking phone. Man, they don't have, yo, that's another thing. They're not even viewing that. That shit not gonna be live. That trial not gonna be live. He gonna get found guilty, man. He gonna get found guilty. It was like whenever somebody not black murders a black person, they do everything possible. Even when they arrest them, they do everything possible to try to make it favorable for this person to win. That's what they did, yo, in Rick Child case. Everything possible, yo. Yo, the judge didn't allow previous conduct. Said because he wasn't charged with any of it. Yo, but that still should have been allowed in because it adds to his character. You know, you can bring in character witnesses. It adds to his character, man. This man was a problem in that community. The biggest problem. Shot one person, shot at another person, got in multiple fights. I was reading some shit earlier. Yo, they said it been 200 calls to that stop, that convenience store. 200, ranging from a multitude of different things, and it wasn't allowed in trial. The fact that they didn't add no lesser included was strange. I didn't like how, in closing arguments, the prosecution threw a monkey wrench in the story. And I caught it real time, but I ain't say nothing because I thought the case was that rock solid. But in his closing arguments, he said that Cyrus dropped the gun, picked it up, and started running. I said, yo, how the fuck would he say that? Why would he say that? He didn't say that at no other point in the trial that I watched. But in closing, the defense ain't even say that. In closing, he said Shorty ran, fell, picked up the gun, and started running. I ain't understand that. I ain't understand that. That ain't make sense to me. Yeah, they is using it against dirt. They use it in all cases involving black people. Yup, they allowed it in Diddy case too. They use it in all cases involving black people. That's what I'm showing the differences. Like they set it up. They set it up so he can beat the case. Yeah, cooking up. I ain't even understand that either. That always been a thing. You can't shoot nobody in the back. I don't know, y'all. That whole case was that shit. That was wild. Yeah, so I was looking up the juveniles, right? And What's the percentage of black juveniles that go to jail by under 18?
Black juveniles make up about 46% of the youth population in juvenile facilities. This is true even though they represent only about 15% of the total adolescent population in the U.S.
That's not what I'm looking for. What's the odds of a black teen under 18 getting incarcerated?
The odds of a black teen under 18 being incarcerated are about 1 in 340 annually. While this is a small percentage, black teens are 5.6 times more likely to be incarcerated than white teens, showing significant racial disparities.
1 out of 340. 1 out of 340, y'all. But that's not the narrative that get presented. You understand what I'm saying? The average person who think the number will probably be somewhere closer to 300 out of 340. You get me? Like the way the media runs stories on black youth and the crimes that they commit, you would think that it would be way more than 1 out of 340. It equaled out to like 0.3% or some shit like that. You feel me? Equaled out to like 0.3%. But then how they added the numbers, how they calculated the numbers, they calculated the numbers by arrests, police encounters, and the fuck was it? It was arrests, police encounters, and convictions. Yo, why would you add police encounters into it? I'm willing to bet whatever the figure is on police encounters, that makes that number rise extremely high. If you take the police encounters out of that equation, that number would be way lower, man. That number would be way lower. Of course, they're going to have more police encounters when you live in environments where the police is harassing you. You know, that would be common sense. And I'm just basing this off, I'm just reading the comments, like, yo, they really think that, yo, we are the biggest problems in America, yo. They really believe that. They really believe that. What race commits most of the violent crime in America? Who commits most of the violent crime in America by percentage?
Males commit the majority of violent crimes in America, accounting for roughly 80 to 90% of arrests. While white individuals commit the most violent crimes overall, black individuals are overrepresented in arrests compared to their population share. Native-born citizens also commit violent crimes at higher rates than immigrants.
Yo, white people commit most of the violent crime in America, man. But most white people don't know that. You feel me? They don't know that. They literally think that we commit most of the violent crime in America, yo. Like, yo, this shit is crazy, yo. But it's all because of stereotypes, man. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all, yo. We need to put real focus. Like, if we had real black leaders, like NAACP and all these other organizations, like, was really cared about black people, yo, that would be their number one target. Attacking stereotypes. Yo, if all I showed y'all, right? If all I showed the world was Asian gangbangers, that's all you seen. You when you walk outside and you see them motherfuckers in them Chinese food stores and shit like that, you would look at them differently. You feel me? You would look at them differently, yo, just based off of, you ain't never had to have no bad interaction with them. Just based off of what you see on the news. based off of what you see on social media. You would look at these motherfuckers like, dang, these people crazy for real. They be out this bitch stabbing people and shooting people and doing all these heinous acts. Shit crazy. What the fuck? Yeah, but I was looking at let me see if I got it in my history. Hello? Yeah, I see it. I just got it. Hey, what you been sent it? Why the fuck is we doing that? Alright. Yeah, that's crazy. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why they be sending me calls and that bitch don't be going through. That should be crazy, yo. I don't be understanding that. Shit, I just left him up that bitch. Alright, so let me show y'all. Let me see if I got this in my history. Here you go, right here. Look at this. Listen to this while I get this shit together.
Drive time makes it easy
If
to buy
this-
a car.
Yeah, already approved. That was easy.
Yep, and you can even car thefts.
Like the judge said that bringing up these instances would prejudice the jury. But how would this prejudice the jury when all of these, it was a cumulative, what's the word? Cumulative effect. This man has a history of violence. How is it that you don't allow his history of violence in a crime of violence? It don't make sense.
Bob, thanks. Richland County investigators say in the past 5 years they've responded to hundreds of calls.
Hold on. What's up, me? I want y'all to hear this. Shit crazy. Listen to this shit, y'all.
Made from the Shell gas station. Investigators released this. Bob, thanks. Richland County investigators say in the past 5 years they've responded to hundreds of calls made from the Shell gas station owned by Rick Chow. Investigators released this information Wednesday evening. That's after receiving Freedom of Information Act requests from several media outlets, including WIS. Officials say ranging back to 2020, at least 200 calls were made from the gas station. Those calls range from shoplifting, assault, larceny, vandalism, car thefts, and robbery. WIS reporter Ashley Jones live on this story for us tonight. And Ashley, of those 200 calls ranging back to the year 2020, how many of those involve shots fired?
Well, Greg, I reached out to the public information officer with the Richland County Sheriff's Department, and she told me that she could not give me that information at this time and that I would need to submit a Freedom of Information Act request in order to get that information, and since then I have done so. On Wednesday, Richland County deputies did release information on 2 prior incidents involving shots fired, one from 2015 and another from 2018. In both incidents, Chow is listed as the person who called the police. According to an incident report from 2015, Chow stated a woman walked in his store, took cases of beer and another item, and then left the store without paying. Chow then followed behind her, confronted her in the parking lot. That was followed with a struggle over the groceries before the woman threatened to shoot Chow. After the fight, the woman got into a car with an unidentified male. The two drove off and then
Look, damn near verbatim of what happened with Shorty. Chased him out the store. Followed him to their car. Like, this guy's a fucking threat to society, y'all.
returned to the gas station, and that's when Chow fired 6 shots to her in the parking lot. That was followed with a struggle over the groceries before the woman threatened to shoot Chow. After the fight, the woman got into a car with an unidentified male. The two drove off and then returned to the gas station, and that's when Chow fired 6 shots at the car. In an incident report from 2018, Chow claimed he watched a man come into the store, take a $6 can of Easy off the shelf, and tuck it in his clothing. Chow then followed the man out of the store, demanding for the item back. Ultimately, Chow...
Yo, you know why niggas steal from y'all? Because he's a bitch. Yo, niggas don't steal from every store in the hood, man. Niggas steal from people like him because how he treat people. So he's creating this hazardous situation by how he treat people. So you got two instances where somebody supposed to stole, and it don't be allowed in a trial where he accused somebody of stealing. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. That judge need to be fired for that shit. Reprimanded. That's a crazy ruling, y'all.
He watched a man come into the store, take a $6 can of Easy off the shelf, and tuck it in his clothing. Chow then followed the man out of the store, demanding for the item back. Ultimately, Chow was hit in the face by the man before pulling his gun and firing 2 shots at him. 1 bullet struck him in the leg. Those prior incidents involving shoplifting, but people who frequent the store say Chow seemed hyper-focused on trying to catch people stealing.
You feel it when you walk in. It's just like, because when you look over, they're all watching you like hawks. Like, can I please just decide what chips I want? It makes you nervous when you're walking in there. I mean, it's quiet, but their eyes are on you.
Jada lives nearby. She says after shopping at the store a couple of times, she stopped going there.
I see everybody walk there. I see the kids walk there, and it's because it's convenient. You know, I'm pretty sure they probably will go. I choose to go other places because I have a car.
Didn't I just say that the other day? Didn't I just tell somebody that shit the other day? Like, it's the convenience of it, man. When people say, once you just go to another store, yo, a lot of people ain't got cars, man. When they in impoverished environments, they gotta go with what's close.
Another woman says whenever she shopped at the store, she didn't have any issues with Chow, but had frequent run-ins with Chow's wife.
Why are you being watched every time you go in the store? Even if I have like $20 or $30 in my hand, she's looking like, is she really gonna buy that? And I'm like, what?
Look at these people.
Chow, but had frequent.
Look.
You know,
Look at these people. They don't look. They don't fit the bill as a criminal. Look at that.
Pretty sure they probably will go. I choose to go other places because I have a car.
Another woman says whenever she shopped at the store, she didn't have any issues with Chow, but had frequent run-ins with Chow's wife.
Why are you being watched every time you go in the store? Even if I have like $20 or $30 in my hand, she's looking like, is she really gonna buy that? And I'm like, what? So I've had very bad experience with her.
Surveillance footage from an incident back in 2013 that WIS reported on shows 2 men stealing cases of beer from the gas station. We reported then that the suspects ran out of the gas station while Chow chased behind them. They then got into a vehicle waiting in the parking lot, and Chow fired 3 shots at the car as it drove away.
That boy's a motherfucking wild cowboy. He likes shooting that gun though. I wonder how he react if that bitch gets shot back at his ass. Do he show the same is he still gonna be a gangster? You feel me? I wonder how would Chow react when the shots that he shoot come back. Is he gonna retreat or is he gonna continue his gangster ways? Just a question. I'd like to see him in action. But yeah, let me go to work. Make sure I hit that like button, man. Make sure I share the live. And I'm out.